Hey guys, wanted to give you an update on what we're doing on the channel here. Our bio video dropped last week that kind of gives some background on who I am and my years of experience in the private sector in finance and operations, as well as the work that we've been doing in local government. 12 years as mayor of the city of Isani, a couple of years before that on our city council, and a lot of the community stuff that I've done over the years as well. Kind of gives me that background of why, when I'm talking about things that affect local communities, kind of gives you an idea of the perspective I'm bringing to it and the experience I'm bringing to it. So we're going to be doing at least one vlog a week, and more, could be more depending on what's going on in our world, what's going on in our local communities. Sometimes there's a lot of pretty interesting stuff. So I love to read. I just try to devour as much possible information as I can, and it all kind of fits into what we're trying to do with Wimmers Wilderness, which is taking a look at politics, government, community, environment, and education from that local perspective. So whatever it is that's going on, whether it's on a national, international scale, state or regional wide, how all those things affect our local communities and what we can do in our local communities and what is going on in our local communities. A fair amount of what I've been doing on our podcast, which we've got 26 episodes of Wimmers Wilderness Podcast, and you can find that podcast pretty much anywhere, iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, Sketcher, Luminary, everywhere out there. Or if you go to wimmerswilderness.org, we have the podcast there as well, and a lot more information about what it is we're really trying to get accomplished here. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. There's a lot of things that I just am fascinated about on what local communities are doing throughout the country, and I just love to devour all that information and see how we can get that out there and spread and really highlight those local communities. All the oxygen is usually taken up on those national and statewide kind of issues, and of course now we've got the impeachment of President Trump going on, and whether, depending on what side of that particular issue you're on, it's going to affect what we can accomplish in our local communities. We're going to talk a little bit about that at times, but only how it affects us there. I don't want to get into too many of those large issues that pretty much everyone's talking about anyway. I really want to stay focused on how things affect our local communities. The other thing is, along with that podcast, which if you haven't listened to it yet, go find it. Just Google Wimmers Wilderness Podcast, and you'll be taken to 20 different ways to listen to that podcast. Or, like I said, just go to our website. But we also have a quiz that appears in almost every single episode of the podcast. There's 3 questions to the quiz. All the answers are within the podcast, not too difficult. And we've got some, great prizes, at least I think they're great prizes, that are going to go into winning that. And the way you play is you do the quiz, you go to the website, you fill out the answers. There's a quiz form on there for you to fill out. And then that gets sent off to us, and then we pick the winner out of all of the correct entries. So you can win things like our mason jar drinking glass, which is great. I also put Wimmers Wilderness honey in there as well, and that's something I think from an environmental standpoint I talk about quite a bit. You also get this cardboard pen. It's a recycled cardboard pen with recycled plastic as well. Great little Wimmers Wilderness pen. And then the thing that has been really the most popular item so far has been the Wimmers Wilderness retractable straw. And that's something that comes in a neat little case. Nice. It's a great metal straw. It's got the silicone tip. It's got this great little cleaner on here as well. Comes in this case. My son actually carries his on his keychain, which works really well too. And so you got that. It goes into this little thing right here. So again, it's they're neat little prizes. Every once in a while there'll be a gift card. On the 25th episode, we had a $25 gift card that was provided by one of our sponsors. Also working on getting some copies of a few books that kind of discuss the good things about local government as well. So look for that coming ahead too. So again, just going to shamelessly keep plugging away the Wimmers Wilderness podcast. That's what really generates a lot of the revenue for us, so we can keep doing this. And then hopefully we'll grow this channel, and that'll be something interesting for people too. So check out the podcast. Click click the subscribe button, click the bell, make sure you're notified. We want to try to grow this channel, but a lot of this is out here for people to get you thinking about your local community. You know, a lot of us, go off to work, we come back home. Sometimes as mayor, I would get the comments of, whether they're at a street dance or some other community event, they say, I finally met my neighbor who I've lived across the street from for 3 years. And where it's great that they finally meet them at a wonderful community event, it's also kind of sad that they haven't met each other already. And that's one of the things in our communities. And we'll be talking about a lot of different things around trying to get people in our communities to kind of be working together to make things better. So anyway, that's all I really have to say. Check out the podcast. Make sure you click and subscribe to this video. We're going to have a lot more information each and every week. I'll be vlogging about different topics and doing some set pieces on things as well. Right now I'm working on some good stuff about national debt, how it affects local communities. No, that may not sound like the most exciting thing in the world, but it really is important. Debt kills. So thanks for listening.